Hello everyone, welcome back to the second episode of the Founder's Story. This is the podcast that we dive into the real stories behind a startup. Today we have our dear guest here, Eino Lehmusoksa, who is the founder of the startup called Wave.io, which is a startup that builds a bridge between the social media users and the businesses. Eino, we are so happy to have you here with us, and thanks for joining us today. Can you introduce yourself a little and tell us a bit more about your company and what is exactly Wave.io?
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here. My name is Eino. I'm a 24-year-old entrepreneur, originally from Joensuu, but now relocated to Tampere last summer. And I've been really enjoying here now. And Wave.io is a platform connecting regular social media users to consumer companies, consumer brands. We like to call it a community marketing platform, but it's a bit of a new term, so it doesn't resonate with a lot of people. But the basic idea is to, as you said, build a bridge with the not professional influencers and consumer brands who can utilize regular people's social media visibility and content creation.
Nice. And how did this idea came to your mind? How did this idea come?
It first came to mind as like an influencer Tinder, like just using regular influencers and connecting them with companies. But then it kind of evolved from that. There's a lot of influencer platforms, so we kind of needed something new, like a new angle. And then we decided like maybe we can narrow down the scope of the influencers to a specific role. And then we like found out that actually this kind of smaller influencers perform better than rather than large ones, cheaper to use, allows a larger scale and volume, which brings additional benefits. So, and then we discovered there's not so many of people like working on this domain. So I think that was the kickstart to it.
Okay, and how was the first 3 months that you launched your startup? How does it look like?
Well, we launched the app end of last year, but of course we founded the company before that. So I think maybe it's better to talk about the first months when the company was founded. Before we didn't even have the app. We did like manual pilots. We just created a WhatsApp group to Joensuu for these influencers, the people who are interested in social media collaborations, and then we got some local companies and we connected them to WhatsApp to make the collaborations. So before we even have software, our founding team doesn't have a technical background, so we started on the commercial side first before we recruited our first developer, now our CTO. And after the 3 months after the launch, we're kind of still in that period. We launched the app to Joensuu, and of course there was a lot of technical difficulties in the beginning.
I know.
Software development is not so simple. But getting through those first difficulties, I think the feedback was really good. People were excited to use the platform, and we got really good insights on how to develop it further.
And in this period, was there any moment that you considered maybe shutting down the whole project or something?
No, not at all. Like we still have a really strong belief on what we're building, and we really think that this is the future of marketing in a sense, and there really needs to be a good tool for brands to utilize it. I think just like minor problems on the way are part of the story. Like it's a roller coaster. It balances out when sometimes it feels like nothing is going anywhere and everything is just going bad and feels hopeless. But then on the other hand, there are days and weeks when everything just flows and everything clicks apart and you feel like you're moving so fast. So you need to zoom out a little bit and look at the bigger picture.
And if you want to point to the most difficult period in this journey, what was this?
I think the most difficult journey was just before the launch. Like we were trying to get the MVP to launch. Like we faced some big technical difficulties and the launch like delayed a bunch of times. It was really tough mentally because we were so eager to launch, so eager to get it to users on their hands, and we just like had to wait. I think that was the most difficult one so far.
Yeah, and did any strategy work surprisingly well despite low expectation that you didn't know that, wow, this might work for you?
I think our like user acquisition has been surprisingly like working well, especially social media. Like we've done like just on our own team some funny TikToks like
Yeah.
presenting the concept, and some of the videos have performed really well and brought in a lot of users, way more than we could have expected.
And what was the turning point in your journey? Like that exact moment that everything changed for you?
Maybe hard to say just one turning
know.
point, but of course the launch of the app was a big turning point, because before you're live, like it's easy to plan and make changes because it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
But the minute you launch, if you plan to keep the app live, you have to think of the current users, the current workflows and the features. When you're building new ones, you can shut down the previous ones. So I think that was a big. I'm working mostly on product on our side, so the launch was me. I definitely changed a lot of like how I work, how I need to adapt after the app is live. So I think that's the biggest turning point so far.
Okay, and about the Platform 6, I know that you joined recently to the Platform 6, but how did you realize about this company, and what kind of expectation do you have from Platform 6 for your future journey?
Yeah, we just joined. I just got my keys. This is my second time being here, but I just like I told you we were living in Joensuu earlier, and there was this like business Joensuu tiedepuisto, a bit the same kind of stuff as here, and it gave us a lot of help when we were in beginning. Like there's experts and other founders and people who you can like.
So you have good connections here.
Yeah, yeah. So when we moved here, I was like, just one day I thought that like, I think there's similar kind of ecosystem here. So I want to find it. I Googled, came across the startup Tampere and this Platform 6, and then we sent an application, and now we're here. I haven't been able to spend so much time here yet, but I will definitely. I want to get to know to the companies who are here, the founders, and also the other.
And how do you keep the work balance between all of these things happening right now? I know you go through all of these things, and how do you have the balance between this?
Yeah, it's sometimes hard, like because the work day doesn't end at a specific time. Like someone calls me, I need to pick up, and I get an idea, I need to do it right away so I don't forget it. But I don't see it as a problem myself. I like what I do. I'm really enthusiastic about it. So far I haven't got any negative effects of working too much, but maybe people around me are more concerned about it, or keeps me like on check on that I need to do other stuff also.
Yeah. And was there any like rewarding moments in your career up to now?
Yeah, of course there's been many, but maybe one that I can point out is when I first saw like actual users using the platform like successfully. Like we saw a campaign go through, the company wanted a specific thing, they found a social media user, they collaborated, and the results were because this idea that you have had in your head for a long time, and before you see anyone use it, you've thought about it a million times, and then when you actually see it going the way you expected it to go, that's a cool feeling.
And what do you see in the future of Labor?
A lot of things, of course. Like we want to develop the product. Now we have really exciting things coming in the near future. Just going a bit beyond social media, also what users can do on the platform, and then we want to start scaling it in Finland. So far, we just started in Joensuu because it's a known market for us, but now we want to open up soon next cities. Maybe Tampere will be one of them.
Yeah, why not? And what do you think? When is the actually right decision to shut a project down? If you think that it's not working or something like that.
I think can be many signs to it. Maybe if I have shut a couple of projects down in the past, it's always a hard decision. But maybe I think of it that way. But when you don't see a way out, like if you still have a plausible way out, that you see that this scenario could work, and you have the resources to try it, to do it to a level that you can see if it works or not. But if you don't see plausible way out, then it's better to not start forcing your way to some direction if you don't even see.
I have this question that when should founders keep going and just not to give up? And you answer that when you see that.
Yeah, also when you see some path, it might not be the path that you're on or that you have thought about. It can be a totally different plan. But if you just see a plausible plan that you have the resources to do and still have the energy and capabilities as an entrepreneur, then you should keep going.
Yeah, I know. And do you have any advice for someone looking to start a business?
Yeah, I think the most important one that I have learned is just do. Don't plan, just do. Like, it's really easy to plan. I like planning. I like creating visions and bouncing around ideas, but the value of that is really small compared to the actual execution. And you kind of need to blend the planning and the execution that you need to plan while executing. Because just like when you plan too much in your head or in your colleagues, then the actual customer's opinion might be totally different, and then your planning was a complete waste.
Yeah.
So just focus more on the doing side and trust that the planning will come along it.
Yes, exactly. And we have come to the end of our conversation. Do you have any final comments or anything you want to share with the viewers?
No, it was nice to come visit here now that you're doing this kind of podcast, and I'm excited to join more on the Platform 6 activities, get to know the other founders and see what this has to offer.
Yeah, it's a very good environment to just communicate and network with people. Thank you very much for being here today for us and joining our team today. And thank you all of you for watching this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe this episode if you enjoyed our conversation. Hope to see you soon in the next episode. Ciao.